Hey guys, welcome to this video. This is my first vlog type video ever. It took me so long to actually record this, and I'm embarrassed at how long it took me to record this, but it took forever. Anyway, this is just going to talk about how the past couple of months have been going and some things that I've been thinking about and, adjustments that I've been making as I go. The first month here, I had an orientation month, which was a lot of fun. I spent a lot of this time doing certain things. One of the things I did was priming myself for all the information I was going to have to learn over the next 4 years to pass my board exam in pathology. So I took one resource and I basically outlined all of the major diseases and concepts that I would have to know for each subject. So I went through all of my heme path and all of my cyto and all of the Sarge path, and so it was really helpful and it gave me a broad overview of what to do and what to start focusing on. And it's funny because as I went over some of the heme path notes, I noticed that there were a lot of things that I wrote down before this month and things I literally don't even remember writing down, and cases that I recognize in those lists. So it was a really good experience in terms of writing all of that out. The other things that I started to do that month included meeting a lot of people in the hospital. I got to speak to so many colleagues and senior colleagues as well, and it was really exciting getting to know so many different people, all of whom are very, very nice and approachable, so it makes work very fun. And so that was also a pretty big priority for me during my orientation month. I also wanted to make sure I was keeping up with hobbies to kind of give myself a little bit of a breather room. Prior to my rotation starting, I did some minor things like going in and trying to tinker with the microscope, going over some practice cases, as well as doing a little bit of reading. After my first week, during my first week, I would write down all of the cases and learning points after work, which was really helpful. I also spent a good amount of time practicing cell counts and studying morphology of all the cells that come up in the bone marrow. Some can look very similar to other cells, so it can be tough to distinguish between them. But I use this time to really get better at this and improve my cell counting speed as well as my morphology skills. I would say that during my second week, I had a little bit of a tougher time. During this week, I had to put together my first tumor board presentation, and I feel like I was very skewed towards the clinical side of things versus the pathology side of things, so it's something I'm going to have to work on moving forward. And then, reading was not going so well anymore, so I decided to switch to video reviews instead. I didn't track my cases as well as I had wanted to this week, and I started to kind of feel like I wasn't meeting the expectations I had for myself, so I needed to make some adjustments here. I also helped submit some abstracts for ASH, so that was exciting to have that completed. And I was also getting better at working on outside projects outside of just rotations, a little bit better and more seamlessly. So overall, it was a pretty okay week. I think that I just needed to make certain adjustments. One of my focuses was counting how much time it was taking for me to do certain tasks at work and making sure that I was having an appropriate workflow and that my timing was good, because at the end of the day, timing is everything in medicine. And if you don't move fast, then you could, potentially delay the team and delay diagnosis and treatment. So it's very important to move fast, but then also have a good sense of how to diagnose quickly as well, and have an accurate diagnosis at the same time. In terms of upcoming changes, I decided to change several things. So I decided that I was going to preview my initial preview notes that I had made during orientation a lot more regularly. I hadn't been able to find where I left my notebook, so that was the reason why I was probably not doing that as often as I should have been. I'm also going to use my whiteboard a lot more often in my apartment and kind of determine where my knowledge gaps are by using, active recall and trying to recall things from memory. Of course, I'm going to watch all the heme path lectures this weekend if possible, which is a lot because I have probably like 12 hours to watch. And I also want to start beginning to watch surgical pathology lectures because in 2 weeks' time I'll be on Surge Path. So I want to make sure that, unlike Heme Path, I really feel like I ease into Surge Path kind of and flow nicely into that rotation a little bit better than I did on this rotation. I also want to make sure I'm scheduling in my outside projects. And I also want to work out a little bit more and stop drinking so much coffee and bring water bottles to work instead of coffee to keep myself hydrated, particularly during these hot summer months. Thank you all for joining me in this video. Of course, if you have not subscribed already, please do subscribe. I do try to post content pretty regularly these days, including topics on medical issues, board examination preparation, as well as my kind of slice of life videos. And today, I just had to mention this because it was really on my mind that I was in the mood to watch 28 Days Later. Fall is coming, it's spooky season. I was like all ready for it. And then apparently it's not available on Amazon. And I checked if I was on some random VPN in another country somehow, but I wasn't. And anyway, I just remember that opening sequence with Cillian Murphy in a very empty London in his hospital scrubs. And it was like one of the most iconic opening scenes, I think, ever. And it brings me back to all those times of like traveling in Europe and a lot of fun and happy memories from those times. So thank you so much again for watching. Thank you for all who have subscribed already. I have over 160 subscribers, which is very exciting. And I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Bye. Have a great day.